So I was recently in contact with an old client of mine that I had not heard from since basically the beginning of April. I was pleasantly surprised to hear that they are back in touch with their SP now through a sequence of events, which is just way too much to get into this video, because this video is not going to be about all of the sequence of events, but more so the fact that she reached out to me, wanted to thank me for giving the blueprint back in April when we first spoke. Because back in April when we first spoke, I gave her the blueprint to what she needed to do and what I thought was appropriate for her specific situation in order to try to potentially get some action. But the one thing I want to focus on is something that she said that really stuck out to me and that I wanted to share with all of you. And that one thing is simply hiding behind the law. So many of you out there are spending way too much time, in my opinion, hiding behind LOA. You are using LOA as a shield to not get anything done. You are using LOA as a shield to become lazy. And this is becoming extremely detrimental to your manifestation process, in my opinion. Not all the time, but I think for a lot of you, a fair amount of times, this is extremely harmful in your manifestation journey. And that is exactly what this person mentioned, is they were hiding behind the law because they were afraid to take action because of what was going on. After you watch this video today, I don't want any of you to no longer be afraid of taking action. I don't want any of you guys to just use LOA to hide, sort of as this mechanism that I'm just gonna hide behind LOA and I'm gonna do these techniques to just waste time because I don't really believe in taking action, or I don't believe that this is gonna work the way that I want it to. So I'm just gonna do these techniques or do whatever just to pass time to avoid accountability. Because that's really what a lot of people, in my opinion, are doing with these LOA techniques unknowingly, is they are using these LOA techniques to basically avoid accountability and getting stuff done in the 3D. Or maybe it's that simply you guys don't know what to do in the 3D, and that's understandable. I totally understand that, which is why it's so important a lot of times to get somebody from the outside looking in that can help you and say, oh, you know what, right here, you should actually be taking action. You should not be being still right now. Oh, this happened? I think that was 100% a sign from the universe for you to do something. And what ultimately ended up happening is this person had realized that their SP had contacted them back in August, but they had no idea because they weren't aware, they weren't paying attention, and all of that good stuff, and didn't take action. So when this person actually saw that they were actually contacted months ago from their person they just didn't know, this allowed the person to have the gumption to be able to say, oh, you know what, I'm gonna make the next move. I'm gonna take that action. I'm gonna go reach out and get in contact with my person. And that's exactly what this person did. And that's how they got back in touch with each other. And this, to me, is a great example of you have to take action. Because something that I realize is a lot of people in the community, whether it's a coach or whoever, they like to say things like thoughts create your reality. That is true to a certain extent. A lot of people, they waste so much time around because they think that their thoughts are going to create their reality. And that can happen for some people if you do it in a particular way, maybe like Neville talks about, or Emil Coué, if you do it before bedtime, or if you do it in the morning when your mind is kind of in this fertile state. Yes, maybe your thoughts can create reality without you taking action. But what I see for most people is your thoughts only create your reality if you actually act on those thoughts you have in the 3D. The human brain accumulates 60,000+ thoughts a day. How many of those thoughts do you actually act on in the 3D? I'll wait. 99% of the thoughts you have in your brain, you do not act on. So therefore, you are not creating your reality. Your reality is going to be created based on the thoughts that you actually act on. If you never act on the thoughts that you have, then guess what? That thought will always just remain a thought. You will think it and it will pass. You'll think it and it will pass. Now, it's up to you if you have those thoughts and you continue to ruminate on those thoughts. But for a lot of you out there, I don't want you to be afraid of thinking, oh, if I think a bad thought, then it's going to happen. No, if you think a bad thought, it's not going to happen. Because like I just got done saying, we have 60,000+ thoughts a day. And how many of those thoughts that we think actually come true? Less than 1% of those thoughts that we think actually will end up happening. And again, it's not because we sat there and imagined it for however long. It's because we probably actually ended up acting out in the 3D. So a lot of us, when we have negative thoughts about a specific person, or if we are in a relationship or whatever, and we have a negative thought, for instance, you're with somebody and you think that they're cheating or whatever, so you'll have a negative thought, and then that negative thought will cause you in the 3D to go look through their phone looking for evidence. And then there might not be any evidence there, but because the reticular activated system is looking for a problem, you go through their phone and you see something that you think is questionable. And now all of a sudden you have turned something into a problem that actually wasn't a problem. But because you went looking, because you let your imagination get the best of you, you let your thoughts get the best of you, Now you've just potentially created a problem that didn't even need to be there and that wasn't even existing until you went looking for it. And I know a lot of people don't like hearing this, but this is the way most of us are going to manifest. Most of us are going to manifest from taking action in the 3D. A lot of us aren't going to be able to just manifest things unless they're lighthearted. You know, I'm talking when I speak of what I'm speaking about, I'm talking about major manifestations. It's very hard for people to manifest major things in their lives doing it this way. For major things in our lives, a lot of people, you're going to have to take action. You're going to have to lift a finger. You're going to have to send that message or whatever the case may be for most of us. For things that are lighthearted, that you don't have a lot of resistance around, you're probably not gonna have to work that hard or take a lot of action in 3D in order to lift that. But again, like I said, don't be afraid of your thoughts creating your reality, because they will only create your reality for a lot of us is if we decide to act on those negative thoughts that we have about whoever or whatever situation we're in, whether we're at work, whether we're on our own business, whether we are in a relationship or trying to get an SP back, or if somebody disrespects you out in public. You have a choice on if you're gonna let your imaginal scenes in those moments get the best of you and then cause you to react in the 3D. So don't be afraid of your thoughts creating your reality, and don't be afraid to, most importantly, take action, especially for guys and for women too. Take action, but not just any action. It has to be the right kind of action. Just like in this example I told you, this person took the right action of reaching out to their person. Hiding behind LOA techniques could be costing you weeks, if not months, if not years. If you're seeing this right now, this video may be for you to actually get you to wake up and to say, you know what? I need to stop hiding behind LOA techniques. I need to actually get up and do something to make a change with what I'm dealing with right now. And if you are looking for guidance with this, Tim and I are here to help you big time. And we have a huge announcement that I think some of you guys are really going to enjoy and get a super benefit out of, because I personally don't think anybody is offering this in this space. Tim and I are recently just now wrapping up our first batch of group coaching clients that we started working with back in July of this year. And so many people in the group have gotten great results, regardless if they got their SP back or was in touch with their SP back or not. Some were, some weren't. But regardless, people got great results, especially when it came to self-concept work and understanding, as Tim likes to say, you are the real SP. Everyone in the group, they got so much benefit from it. And like I said, the group kind of just finished up, because Tim and I, we always tell you guys, in order to see real change, you need roughly at least, we'd say right around 6 months to a year. Some people, they found that what they needed, they got it in maybe 3 or 4 months, maybe 5, but usually 6 months to a year could be that sweet spot. And so what Tim and I right now are getting ready to do is we're getting ready to start our next go round of working with SP clients who either want to just manifest an old person back, or if you want to just find your dream relationship and manifest that dream relationship of yours. Maybe you're somebody who you have money, you have a lot of things going for you, but for whatever reason, you are having a hard time manifesting love, can't find love, can't hold on to love, whatever the case may be. Tim and I are offering a program just for you, but it's a program with a little twist. We are currently in the process of creating a guys only manifestation masculinity mastermind. But ladies, don't feel left out, because we're also in the process of figuring out offering a female only group of SP masculine and femininity mastermind as well. We have not figured out price yet, but both of these groups will be about 6 months long, and you can pay month to month. But if you pay all of it up front, you will definitely get a nice little discount off of everything if you pay everything up front. But it will be probably roughly a 6-month program that you can pay month to month, and you can cancel anytime. But get this, here's the kicker. If you are not satisfied after 6 months of working with us and you feel like, oh, you didn't get the results you wanted, you didn't get your SP back, or you feel like you don't really have the tools to find a new SP or to sustain a new relationship if you do find a new SP or whatever, Tim and I will be gladly willing to give you another 6 months of coaching for free. For free. I mean, this is really the deal of the century. I don't know nobody else in this space that's offering something like this from two coaches who actually know about this stuff and who actually help people understand how manifestation works, the masculine and feminine energy, and how to actually attract somebody back or somebody new into your life and to keep them. Not all of this fluff stuff that you see on the internet. What you can expect in the mastermind group is the following: weekly group sessions with whoever joins, and if you can't join, the meetings will be recorded for group members only, so don't worry about if you can't make it, because you can always watch the replay later on. You also can expect a couple different sessions, one with Tim as well as one with myself every month. So every month, that's basically 6 sessions. You would have a weekly call every week with the entire group and Tim and I, and then you would have 2 individual sessions, one with Tim and one with myself every month in the mastermind. For all the guys in the guys only group, what you can expect is a group where we all have one goal in mind, and that's becoming better men, understanding LOA, understanding what LOA really means from the male perspective, from the masculine perspective, not this macho shit that you see online, but understanding what real true masculinity looks like when it comes to LOA, and understand what it really looks like to take action and to be around like-minded men who understand these ideas, who know about these ideas and practice these ideas on a daily basis. And to also become the kind of man who knows how to take leadership, when to take leadership, and knows when to not be passive and to stop being passive, because LOA is teaching us how to become passive, but also knows how to respond when the divine feminine comes into contact with the divine masculine, and how to lead and how to guide that divine feminine in order to be able to have true unity and true love, while also explaining to you all and expressing that it is okay to be vulnerable and to be surrounded by men where it's okay to be vulnerable. We can be vulnerable amongst each other and share the struggles that we're going through in any part of our lives. I know a lot of you guys out there have been getting a lot of SP advice from a lot of the female coaches online, and they do a phenomenal job, but I've also heard how much of a breath of fresh air it is that you have 2 guys like me and Tim who are actually telling you guys to take action and to take leadership and to put your life in your own hands and to stop being so passive and actually get aggressive in order to go out there and get what you want, and to combine LOA with the 3D, because that's the piece that a lot of us are missing, especially you guys. Because when it comes to manifesting SP, a lot of you guys could be missing out on getting your girl back or having your girl stolen because you're being too passive, and we don't want that to happen. So the guys only group, look out, because it's gonna be lions only. Get ready for ultimate transformation, fellas. On the lady side, in the ladies only group, this will apply to you as well, ladies. Everything that I just talked about with the men, Tim and I are looking to do the same exact thing with you guys in your women's only group. We're looking to cultivate a very safe, secure place where all of the women can come together and gather and talk about their issues with SPs or not being able to find one or trying to manifest one back, and talk about the emotions, the ups and downs, and how we can solve it in the 3D in the real world, as well as using LOA techniques and all of the above. And kind of just like how I said with the fellas, Tim and I are looking to give the ladies a masculine perspective on dealing with men and dealing with the law of attraction and the law of assumption, because I also know that a lot of you women out there, you guys go to other women SP coaches and you get their advice, and their advice is great and it's greatly needed. However, it is different at times, if not a lot of times, from the male perspective. And I think that, ladies, being in a group with Tim and I, it could really be beneficial to you in understanding a guy's point of view and how to deal with men, and understanding when to use the masculine energy, understanding when to use your feminine energy, because the feminine energy that women have is beyond powerful. When a woman taps into her feminine energy, everybody in the world, even other women, have no choice but to bow down to that. The masculine energy has no clue. The masculine energy will literally do whatever the feminine energy wants when it is in the presence of true feminine energy. And Tim and I are looking to help you ladies cultivate that and understand how to use that, when not to use it, and how to use that when combining the law of attraction, law of assumption in the 3D, in the real world, to be able to track the masculine energy, to be able to track your old SP, or to, quite frankly, be able to track a new SP if that's what you're looking for. So if either of these 2 groups, the guys only group or the women's only group, sounds appealing to you, don't hesitate to fill out the questionnaire that will be in the comment section below of this video, and let's get it popping. Let's start using our masculine energy and our feminine energy the right way in the 3D and in our minds to help manifest an old SP or somebody new. I know some of y'all out there are tired of waiting. Well, guess what? Wait no more. Join this program, because it is officially time to either get your boyfriend or your girlfriend back, or get somebody new, and to make them your girlfriend or boyfriend, and eventually make them your fiancés, and eventually make them your husband or wife.